So here we go. There we go. That is bright. And I can already feel the warmth. It's instantly just warm. We're going to be installing this 3000 watt infrared patio heater from Sunheat. If you don't know what this is or what one of these patio heaters is, it is a radiant heater that you'll see at restaurants or outdoor venues. They usually mount them along the trusses or along the roof line, and they radiate heat down on the people sitting around it. Or if you're a smoker at work, you might have one of these in the outdoor smoke shack, and people huddle around it in the wintertime to stay warm while they smoke their cigarettes. I went with this instead of a shop heater, mainly because I don't want to do anything permanent to this barn anymore. This property is for sale, and I do have property about 30 minutes away. And I am trying to build a house on that and build a new barn and all that stuff. So I'm going to be breaking this video up into 2 parts. We're going to get the assembly done, we'll get it hung up, and then we'll cut it there, and then we'll start the electrical in another video. For those of you who don't know, I am a DIY guy. I am not a licensed electrician. I'm not construction licensed. I am capable of doing a lot of things. I do watch a lot of YouTube on how to do stuff. Plus, my dad built this barn, he built the house, and he is capable of answering some questions that I have when it comes to wiring. I did wire some of that stuff in, the 50 amp for my welders. I wired these lights in, or helped him wire the lights in, and I've done some other stuff inside the house. This is a 30 amp heater, so when we get to that point, when we start to wire this in, because this has to be hardwired, so if you don't know how to do electrical or anything like that, then you might want to watch that video before you try. So let's get this over to the heated side and we'll get this thing assembled. Let's get this thing assembled, and it should be fairly easy. I've never done one of these, so you're going to be learning with me. I did do some research on it though, and it doesn't look too complicated. So let's see what comes in the box. Let's see how this is packaged in here. I think it came pre-assembled. I like that because a lot of the videos that I watched, you had to do all the assembling. Like, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that is a quartz tube with a tungsten filament that runs through here, and those are very brittle. And with the other systems, you had to install that yourself, but these look like they're already installed. So let's get some of this stuff off and let's check this thing out. All right, so let's start taking all this foam out. I believe this stuff opens. I didn't see this. This fell out of it, little Allen key. Almost makes me wonder if I gotta Allen key that. All right, so I'm assuming this Allen key is used right here to take these end caps off, and we'll be able to open the cage and get those other pieces of foam out of there. All right, once you have that back cap off, this piece just slides right out. And then you want to be careful not to touch your quartz. I'm treating this almost like a halogen headlight, because if you know anything about headlights on a car, touching the halogen bulb with your bare hands, it leaves grease or your hand oil on the bulb, and then it burns out a lot faster. But with that end cap and with this little piece removed, you can take the grill out now, which makes it a lot easier to get the styrofoam and stuff out. We'll be able to take that completely out. Looks like I need to go in here and kind of wipe this with a rag. I'm not going to use any solvents on this because this gets really hot and solvents burn, and I don't really want any chemicals to be off-gassing or igniting. So don't use any solvents on here. Just take a rag, wipe out some of the dust, and we'll do the same thing on this side, and then we'll put it back together and we'll be ready to install that bracket. Let me go ahead and take this side apart, and then yeah, we'll go from there. All right, I got the other side off now. It comes apart really easy. It looks like everything is designed to operate in these little grooves. Like, I'm pretty sure this piece will come off, then this shiny piece would slide all the way out. I could take that off and then have access to where I'm assuming it's 2 bulbs, and then right here is the middle, and everything comes wired right here. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm thinking. Everything comes in here, and then it's got this really long cord that you're gonna wire into your electric panel. I'm gonna wipe this down. This one's even dirtier than that side. So I'm just gonna take a rag, and again, treating this like a headlight. Not that I don't think it would be that dangerous to touch it or cause any issues, but I just don't want to take the chance. And you want this reflector to be clean because this is what reflects the heat back out towards you, and dirtier it is, the less efficient this is. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's not going to be spotless. And like I said, I'm not going to use any solvents because, one, the solvent might discolor the shininess, and two, this is a lot of heat and a lot of solvents either off gas and it's dangerous, or they're flammable and will ignite and you burn your shop down, and I don't want to do that. So let's get this thing back together. We'll go out in the other room and we will get the bracket mounted, and then we'll be ready to wire it in. So there's that. So one thing I did find, it is a little difficult to get these brackets in. So that just slides in there, right? These are the hard part. These pegs right here need to go in the holes right here on the ends. And to do that, we have to bend this and get it in the channel. Like that. And then this, just like that. I'm going to do the other end real quick. Take this paper off, this attention thing. Slide this just like that. Just like that. Now this one was a pain to get off, so I'm hoping it's not a pain to get back on. Got it. Got it, got it. Get these in the holes. There we go. And now we can put our end caps back on. So we'll start with this one. Get the end cap back on. All right, we have this back together, which it wasn't that complicated. I like how this one came already assembled. I really do like that. The bracket too looks really easy. Looks like we just need 3 screws, you know, obviously with a washer on there so it doesn't poke through. But then where we mount the unit looks like it's just a 1/2 inch bolt with a dig washer. I don't know what these are called, but it bites into the metal to keep everything from backing out. Looks pretty easy. I like this so far. The more complicated part will be wiring, but looks like there's plenty of wire here to do what I need to do. It does recommend, if you're mounting it to a wall, to keep it minimum 500 millimeters from the ceiling, which 500 millimeters roughly translates to 19.5 inches. So we'll try to make that work. I'm gonna get everything over to the other side where this is gonna be mounted, and I'm gonna gather some screws, see if I can't find any washers, and then grab my drill and we'll be ready to go. So I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, got everything out here, got everything gathered. I got 3 screws, 3 washers, and we're just gonna screw it up there on that header. One good thing about my ceiling is I don't have one, so I don't really have to worry about that 500 millimeter rule. That's a 2x12. I'm gonna mount this so that the unit is just above it because I don't wanna go lower than the threshold. I do pull a minivan and a tractor in and out of here. I wanna mount it so the end of the light or the end of the heat lamp is somewhere in this area. I don't want it to be too far over. And it should radiate right here just fine. The washers I found, they're sheet metal washers. They got rubber on one side. That's all I could find. So it'll work. And then I got 1 3/4 inch screws, which that'll work because this is only 8 pounds, 7.5 pounds, so not too heavy. And yeah, let's get up on the ladder, put it in place. One fun fact about me, I freaking hate ladders. All right, I'm not gonna use any measurements or anything. I'm just kind of gonna eyeball it. I'll go something like that. There we go. Something like that. I'll get the other one started real quick. I dropped 1 screw, so let's go get that. But I don't know why I'm afraid of heights. Or afraid of ladders. I know my balance is bad. I had neck surgery in 2012 to prevent myself from going paralyzed. I had a Chiari malformation in my neck, so my balance is just bad. And I never used to have issues with it before surgery. But the older I got, the worse it got. And now I don't really trust my balance, if that makes sense. So I think part of the fear is knowing. So does that look straight? I think it's good enough. There we go, that's good enough. We'll take these screws out, or these bolts. So yeah, I just don't think I trust my balance, and I think that's part of the reason why I have issues on ladders. Now, I'm fine when I have something to hold on to, or if the ladder's tall enough, I can still hang on to the ladder. But other than that, it sketches me out. I'm gonna go get a 1/2-inch ratchet and we'll be right back. All right, got my 1/2-inch ratchet. I'm ready to take that up the ladder and put it in place. It shouldn't be too hard to do, but when you're afraid of ladders or afraid of falling, something simple like this is a pain in the butt. So something I'm working on, something I hope I will overcome eventually, but unfortunately the doctor said my balance will never get good. It'll never get better. But there are things I can do to help with that. So one of those is therapy, but I can't afford therapy. So there's that. Get the over, squeeze the thingy thing. There we go. Just making sure that's in the hole, and it is. So I can let that hang now and get this other side in. Which for this, I'm moving my ladder. Because now I don't have to worry about it falling. I still need to worry about me falling, but that's a different story. All right, we got both of them in, finally. All right, now we can take our ratchet and get this thing ratcheted into place. All right, we got it hung. We got the bolts tight. It looks pretty good. I got it pretty close to where I wanted it. That side is a little higher, but it looks pretty good for eyeballing it. It should be enough of a wide spread pattern for the heat that it should encompass this area. And if not, it'll get moved. And that's just as easy as taking the bracket back off and moving it wherever I want it. There is enough cable there to go into that breaker panel to be hardwired, which is how they want it to be done. Not saying that you couldn't put a 30-amp plug on that and just have an outlet nearby that you can just plug into. I don't see why that would be a problem. If you're an electrician, let me know if that would be a problem, because that might be the better option, especially in the new setup at the new house. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna go in there. If you want to see me wire this in, hit that subscribe button. That's the only way you're going to be able to see that or get notified when that video comes out. But that'll be part 2 of the installation of the Sunheat 3000 watt heater. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.